A good nerve Shabbos Kodesh, Parshas Boy, Tavshinayin Ches, 5778 from Yerushalayim HaKodesh. I was going through some old emails today. I found an email I received back in the year 2010. Okay? And in the year 2010, I received an email from a friend of mine, Shlomo, who received it from another friend, Baruch. A group effort. Chabad, Aguda, OU, uniting. Please sign this petition to give to the President of the United States to try to help a Jew by the name of Shalom Rubashkin, who's being framed or was framed and just put into jail, and whatever the case was back then. And we all did it. We all signed in. And today we laugh about it, right? The pasuk in this week's parsha, the first two parshas in Shemais, we don't really talk, we don't really discuss the Golus in Mitzrayim so much. The Torah doesn't really describe it. Interestingly, what the Torah does describe, what do we know? As we know, Yaakov and his children went down to Mitzrayim, and we know Moshe took everybody out. And we have a few psukim in Parshas Shemais where Hashem is telling Moshe Rabbeinu that he sees the pain Klal Yisrael's been going through, and the Chazal and the Midrashim learn out all the galus and all the darkness that was going on in Mitzrayim. Now, Parshas Boy, we finish with the Makkahs, and it's that time. We're leaving Mitzrayim. The pasuk tells us, "V'yimiketz shloshim shana v'arba ma'os shana." It was the end, the culmination. We reached the 30 years, the 400 years, and it was on that day, Yatzu kol tzivos Hashem me'eretz Mitzrayim. It was on that day the armies of Hashem left Mitzrayim. Tzivos Hashem, It left Mitzrayim. 430 years. Now, I'm going to do a little bit of a mathematical equation here. We're going to go with the Shitas Marsha. But for anyway's sake, 430 years in Mitzrayim, all the Mefarshim have a problem. Because Kahas ben Levi was already born. He's listed in Sefer Bereshis as the names of the children of Yaakov Avinu that came down with him to Mitzrayim. Kahas ben Levi. His son Amram was born in Mitzrayim. Kahas only lived 133 years. Amram, born in Mitzrayim, 137 years he lived. And Moshe Rabbeinu at this point is 80 years old. So even if Amram was born the day Kahas died, and Moshe was born the day Amram died, which wasn't the case, it would only equal 350, not 430. All the Mefarshim have this problem. We also know that Avram Avinu was told by the Bris Ben Absarim, Ki ger yeh zarecha arba ma'os shana. Your children are going to be strangers for 400 years. Again, that's not 430. But let's make a little bit of a mathematical equation here. Okay? At what age was Avram Avinu told that about the bris ben Absarim? He was 70 years old. When was Yitzchak born? 30 years later. Avram was how old? He was 100. 30 years. Now what was the klolok? Higer yiyeh zarecha, your children will not be home for 400 years, starting with Yitzchak. The birth of Yitzchak, okay, Yitzchak lived 60 years before Yaakov is born. Okay, Yaakov was 147 when he died, and we know that he Shvas Rishon Yaakov b'Mitzrayim. Yaakov was in Mitzrayim for 17 years. So it was 130 years before he came to Mitzrayim. So Yitzchak's 60, and Yaakov's 130 is 190. Let's take Avram Avinu's 30 years from when he was told about the Bris Ben Absarim to when Yitzchak was born. You got 220. And what are you left with? 210 years. Together with the 220, you have the 430 years. And it was on that day. It was on that day that the entire Klal Yisrael left Mitzrayim. Lo shimurim hu Hashem le'tziyom me'eretz Mitzrayim hu halayla hazeh l'Hashem shimurim l'chol b'nei Yisrael l'dayroitzim. And that's the Seder night that we have for generations. Okay? At times, we think that our pa'ulos, our efforts, our energies that we invest are what dictate what happens in the world. We have to realize that with every gzeira that happens in the world, HaKadosh Baruch Hu put a tarikh on. The gzeira has an expiration date. It's not there forever. It might be there for a very long time. The gzeira of Galus Edom is for a very long time. But it's not forever. There's a timestamp on it. We don't know it. Hopefully it's very soon. There's no gezerah that doesn't have a timestamp. What our pe'ulas do is create zechusim. When we create those zechusim, we change our internal value. The value of who we are. We change that value, we become different people. When we become different people, we're not the same person sometimes that was worthy and needed for whatever tikkun to have that gezerah. Because now I'm a different person, I have a different identity because of the pa'ulas that I've made. And therefore, I don't need the gezerah. It's not that I don't need the gezerahs. I'm a different person. The different person doesn't need the gezerahs. But that's between us and HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Getting back to that email from 2010, it was a beautiful thing. And it all added up. The HaKadosh Baruch Hu saw the Chazur Bonei Chavivai. How it was the Achtus, and everybody was together from the beginning till the end. The email from 2010 of the OU and the Chabad and the Aguda and this and that, and everybody came together, let's sign this petition. It was the very same people that when we heard the Basura a month ago, when Shalom Mordechai came out, it was those same people. Everybody was excited. And it's one and the same. It's the schus of the Achdus is what allowed that the Achdus in the schus that when he came out, the achdus of everybody rejoicing, the simcha was everybody, because the pa'ulas of us joining forces created a new identity, and that identity was excited when he came out. But the end of the day, there's a tarikh, there's an expiration date, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu was nigzer on this yachid, an expiration date for his gullus, for whatever reason he had to go through it, and he did, and he came out. And when there is that expiration date, HaKadosh Baruch Hu never ever goes past that. We don't always know the expiration date, and we daven that just as the expiration date for his gullus in Otisville or wherever he was in Iowa ended, in a sense that he was able to come out of the Beis Hasayar, the jail, quicker than anybody could have possibly anticipated. And the way he was ushered out of there, Emetz Hashem, it should be very soon, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu will come and tell us with his malachim, his srafim, Eliyahu, he's going to come and he's going to be that guard. He's going to say, get up, get out of here. You got to go. You got to go to Yerushalayim. Mashiach's here. If only it could be today. If only it could be tonight before Shabbos. Have a Heilig Azizah Shabbos. As always, any questions, comments, or feedback, you can always leave them in the comment section below.